Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And yesterday, a killer Sudoku based on the killer cage total 23. Today it's 38. So big change in the number, but a very small change in the style of the puzzle. And I'm still looking forward to this, definitely. This is by Riff Clown, who is, I want to say the leader, maybe one of the main organisers of Skunkworks, but not the one who's organised this month's or the coming. In 3 days' time, we'll be publishing on Patreon Extra Byte by Skunkworks as our Patreon reward for October. It does feature a puzzle by Riff Clown among the 68, and also by the main organiser of this set, which is Panthera. And we earnestly recommend it. There are some great puzzles. As I said, 68 puzzles, but don't panic. They're all 5 by 5, so many fewer digits to enter. Probably about as many digits to enter as in the average patron reward. I haven't done the maths on that, but there's some very nice puzzles there, and we think you will enjoy all of them, frankly. And on Patreon, of course, there's also crossword solving. There's my tough crossword every month. Simon, though, recently tackling 2 of the most extraordinary listener crosswords ever. There's a lot of cryptic clue solving and then some unbelievable end games in those puzzles. And connections videos too there, so do join us on Patreon if you can. Also, of course, consider our apps which feature Killer Sudoku, and they've also got Fog of War and The Worms by such luminaries as Phistomefel and Michael Lefkowitz. Do check those out, along with SVEN'S Sudoku Pad, all linked under the video, where the first link is to this puzzle. Yesterday, for half an hour, the first link was to the wrong puzzle, which will be coming up in tomorrow's video, I can tell you, whilst we will be streaming. That my video gets published at 11 PM our time, but we will start streaming tomorrow at 10 PM and probably do a couple of hours back in the Blueprints house, and we would very much welcome you to join us live. The chat can be very energetic and fun, remarking on how foolish we are, and quite appropriately. So we welcome you to join us as we do some gaming. It's just fun for a couple of hours. We pretend to be gamers instead of Sudoku solvers, and show how incompetent we are at that particular genre. Now, let's have a look at Riff Clown's puzzle and the rules, which are very straightforward. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so 1 to 9 will go in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. Digits in cages must sum to the number shown, which happens to be always 38 in this puzzle, and digits can't repeat within a cage. And then there are a couple of V's, and digits separated by a V sum to 5. That's it. Now, just admire before we start the beautiful symmetry of the 38 cages in this puzzle, forming staircases all around it, and that little sort of cup shape there. And then the fact that the given digits are a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, also with symmetry in terms of where they're placed. Beautiful stuff from Riff Clown, as always. It's called V38, I think, because of the V's and the fact that there are 38s in the cages. Give it a try on that first link under the video, assuming I've put the right puzzle there today, and let's get cracking. So, well, the V's are, okay, this V sees a 1. There are 2 ways of making up V, 1, 4 or 2, 3. So that one is 2, 3. And then we actually know that this one is 1, 4. Because if we were to put 2 and 3 here, that cell couldn't exist. So I'm going to put in the 1 and the 4 because we know which way round they are. So there's a little giveaway start from Riff Clown. Very kind. I expect the puzzle toughens up after that. Now, I looked at this literally 5 minutes ago, and I thought all of these cages were 7 cells large. And actually I now see that only one of them is 7 cells large, and that's this one. These ones are all 8 cells large. Now this makes a big difference. I think the way to consider a big numbered cage like 38 is to think, what do all the digits 1 to 9 add up to? It's a secret we sometimes share with our favourite people. And the answer is 45. Pardon me. So, if we deduct from 45 the cage total 38, that will give us the total of digits not in the cage, which is 7. Now in this 7-cell cage, there are 2 of the 9 digits, 1 to 9, that are not in the cage, and they add up to 7. And I don't know what they are, but they're either 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4. However, in all the 8-cell cages, there's only 1 digit adding up to 7 not in the cage, and that is clearly the number 7. So I'm going to take a fairly unusual approach. I'm going to colour every digit in the puzzle that can't be a 7, and I'm going to start with the 8-cell 38 cages. Then I'm going to do the given digits. Then I'm going to do the one that we've established is on a V. Then I'm going to say that this 7 is clearly a 7, it's given to us, and that the digits it sees by Sudoku rules can't be 7. And I'm going to see what digits now can be 7 in the puzzle. And it's quite interesting. There must be a 7 in that group. So this one now can't be 7. We get a little bit of information. This might not work, but I thought it was worth a try. And there's a 7 in one of those 2 cells. Now, there must be a 7 in the 38 cage because it's not one of the 2 missing digits from it. This hasn't actually worked, but never mind. I might leave the colouring in for a bit just to see, because I'm not planning to use any other colouring. We've got 2 4s now, and the third 4 in these 3 columns can't reappear in this cage. We're only allowed 1 digit of each sort per cage, so it's down there. Yeah, this is the way to go. It's more a geometry puzzle, I think, than anything else. Where does 1 go in box 9? Because again, it's not allowed to reappear in the cage, and that 1 sees those cells. So now we got the 4, we know there's a 1 here. Now, that's got very good for our colour scheme, because 1 must be yellow. And the only space for the red 7 digit here is now there. And that's going to rule out a bunch of other cells. I just got the click wrong there, yellow. So now this is red, and now we know all of these are yellow. And now we know the red in box 2 is in one of those, and that is yellow, and that puts red. Look at that, we're getting most of the 7s in the grid placed. And I'm going to write 7 into all of those. There we go, lovely. I don't think we can do the middle boxes, even though we know there is 1 7 in this cage. Okay, I can do a bit more colouring though, because that in row 4, the 7 is clearly the one in that cage, so the other cells of the cage can't contain a second 7. Oh, that's yellow as well, so's that. Right, I mean, that was, I think that was quite a good colouring exercise now. Anyway, now we're going to think about the cage structure again. And what I hadn't considered was where to put a 7 in this cage. But now that we've got this one in the puzzle, it's become very clear. It's got to be there. Hang on, what are you talking about? There are no 7s in the 8-cell cages. Lost my mind for a second. Right. The real puzzle is, where does 8 go in this cage? How about that? Because that 8 sees these cells, and that is blocked. And it sees that one. So 8 in the cage is there. Then 8 is in one of these cells. And that's the 8 in this cage. That doesn't carry on any further. We've got a 2 there and a 2 here. but we don't know if the 2 in box 4 is in the cage, which would put 2 here. I don't think. We've got 2 1s. I think this might be a case of finding which digits are giving a third. Yes. Since that can't be a 1 by Sudoku, the 1 here goes in the cage. And this cage needs a 1 and a 2. Oh, it needs a 2. The 2 is not in this box because that's a 2-3 pair. And this 2 sees all of those, so we can write a 2 there. Yeah, this is a good way to attack. There's going to be a 2 in one of those cells. This cage is going to need a 2 as well, somewhere there. 7, 1, 2. I'm looking for digits that repeat already because they might be a bit more helpful in finding the geometry. But I'm kind of running out of stuff now, which isn't surprising. 1, 2 are in this cage. 3 needs to go in this cage. 3, 7, and 4. They already appear in that box. Okay, these can't be 4. That can't be 4. 4 is in one of those 2 cells. And then it's somewhere over here. 3 can't be in these ones in the cage. I could pencil mark that between those 2 cells, but that will probably confuse me later. Oh, 5, trying to get into this cage, has only got 1 place to go. Ah, it's weird, this, isn't it? Well, maybe you don't think so. Now, whatever this digit is, it's not 7, so it does have to go into this cage. It's either 2, 3, or 9. The only place it can go in the cage is going to be there. Is that worth sort of flashing with a colour because they're the same digit? I don't know. It might not be. I don't know. Oh, in fact, these digits are all 2, 3, 9, 8. Oh, I see. It's 6 that needs to get in the cage as well. There it goes. So then we've got a 6 up here somewhere. This digit in the corner sees 6175,432. That's 8 or 9. And where's that going in the cage? In this cage this time? Either there or there. Because it sees everything else. Yeah, I mean, this is all about what certain digits see. So, I haven't thought about... 7 doesn't go in cages. 1 needs to get into this cage in one of those positions. 2 we've already put in it. 8, okay, maybe I've done the thinking now about digits that appear out of cages in corner boxes and where they then will go. Oh, this cage has to have a 9 in it. That's another point. That 9 is either here or here. And all that tells me is none of these are 9s. I haven't really done any thinking about 9s specifically. Okay, I don't know quite what to do next, so let's just have a little consideration. What is this digit? It's different from green. It's 1, 3, or 9, because it sees all the other Sudoku digits. And where does it go in the nearby cage? Either there, where it can't be 1, or there, where it can't be 1. So it is now 3 or 9, and it either goes there or there. So the 1 in the bottom row is in one of these 3 cells, and that is very interesting. Right. The reason I think that is very interesting is because that stops 1 going in quite a lot of places. No, in 2 particular places, in those 2 places. Why does there being a 1 in those 3 cells stop 1 being in one of those 2 cells? Because if there was a 1 there, it would be in the same box as those 2 cells. And if there was a 1 in either of these, it would be in the same cage as those 2 cells. Now, once you've stopped 1 being in those cells, we've also got these 2 1s in the grid, so it can't be in those. But this 38 cage needs a 1. And now we know we can now restrict it from those 3 cells in the bottom row to those 2 cells in the cage. And they're now a 1-8 pair. And the 1 in this box is now forced out of those 2 cells and must be here. Now 5 has been forced into the cage, and that digit can't be a 5. So 5 is in... Can we do this again? 5's in one of those 3 cells, which keeps it out of those 2. No, we don't have the same sort of information about 5's as we had about 1's. We can now put 1 into one of those 2 cells. What about this box? 187. This digit, in fact, is 2, 3, or 9. And that also has to get into this local cage. Along with that, they both have to appear within those. Okay, I have to think now about what digits are missing from this cage that need to get in it. 5's in one of those cells. 4 and 6 are going to have to appear somewhere. And 2, 3, 9, one of which is there. This one is going to be there or there, and this one is going to be there or there. I can't quite work out if... It all depends on whether that's a 2 or a 3. I was wondering for a second, if that was a 2, could you put 2 in box 7? It would go there, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, that's fine. One, 2, 3, 7. We do need an 8 in this column. And then we'd need a third. 8 in any of those cells would prevent 8 being in these 2. It's a very beautiful puzzle. There's so much lovely geometry here. I just need to get my head around it all. It's very clever, isn't it? 3, 7, 4 there now. 1, 6, 2. I've pencil marked those already. I'm not quite sure what... Okay, this cage needs a 3 in one of those cells, I think. Because we've got that 2, 3 pair ruling out 3 from all of those places. Any of those 3 cells see that one. That's already not a 3, and that's not a 3. So the 3 is going to be in one of those. It's such weird geometry. I mean, that keeps 3 out of those 2, but we knew it wasn't there already, so... No, I'm managing to confuse myself now. Let's try and do something else. 1 and 2 are in this cage, in this... No, not necessarily. 2 might miss it there and go in there. This digit can't be 2 because of those 3 possibilities for 2. They all see it in some way. So this is 3, 8, or 9. Maybe I do need to focus on 3 being in one of those 2 cells. What do they both see? That one. That's not very interesting at the moment. 4, 1, 9, 2, 3, 8. So this sees a lot of things. It sees all of the low digits, 1, 2, 3, 4. It sees 9, 8, and 7. This digit is 5 or 6. And where does that go in this box? Beautiful. It's not 5, because 5's in one of those cells in the cage. That was a naked single. A very unexpected naked single. That's a 6 now. That's ruled out from being, what is it, this did... Firstly, though, this digit has to go... I should have done this before. This digit is 3 or 9 and has to go somewhere in this cage. Oh, it could be there, couldn't it? I was going to say it must be here. That's not right. These two, though, must be those two from 3, 2, and 9. Oh, sorry, much simpler question. Where does 6 go in this box? Not in the same cage, it's there. Where does 4 go in the box? This is how to do that. It's in one of those cells. Now, I think I know, oh no, 4 can't be in these cells because of these positions. No, this is vital. Right. Where is 4 in this column? It's not in those two cells because then it couldn't go there and it couldn't go in the same cage. So 4 in the first column is there. I was going to get that by an X-wing with working out that 4 was in one of those, but that's overly complicated. Now, 4 has to get into this cage, and it can only go there now. Oh, this is a breakthrough, I think. We've got a 4 in one of those two. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a breakthrough yet. There's a 6 in one of those cells. And again, does that do anything? Does it keep 6 out of there? It certainly doesn't. No, I can't quite see what that does. This column has got quite a lot of digits in it. This is 5 or 9. These are from 5, 8, 9. 3 must be in one of those two cells. And that's in the cage now. But all that's telling me that I didn't know before is that this isn't 3. Okay, my so-called breakthrough wasn't huge. These are from 3, oops, not 2, 3, 5, 9. Oh, they can't have a 3 in. These see 7, 2, 4, 6, 1, 8, and the 3 in that pair. So that's a 5, 9 pair. We get a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. 3 in the spotlight. Ooh, I'm so bad at birthdays. I forgot to do a birthday. I'm going to do it at the end of the puzzle. But happy birthday, Esmeralda. 1, 8, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, I did it now, but I'll do it later as well. 4 and 4 is in one of these two cells. That 2 or 9, oh, I was going to say must go there, but it could be a 2 still. Now, here we've got 5, 9, 6, 4, 2, 3. So these digits are 1, 8, 7. That one can't be a 1. 1, 8, 7. These are from 2, 4, 5, 9. What does this cage need? It's got 6, 1, 8. It doesn't get a 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. This one is 2, 3, or 9. One of those two is a 3. At some point, it's going to matter that this digit, for instance, can't be a 3, but I'm gradually working my way around to the central box, and I haven't got there yet. 8, 1, 7, 5. We've got 2, 9, 3, 4, or 6. Oh, that 5, 9 pair is in this cage, so that's an 8. That's very obvious suddenly, isn't it? So in this cage, we've got 5, 9, 4, 8, 2. We need 1, 3, and 6. That's the 1. This is the 3, 6 pair. This digit is now 5 or 9. And it's the same as that one, very clearly. Have we got something going on with 6s? Yes. Where's 6 in the top row? This has been the most useful question. Where was 1 down here? Where was 4 here? Where's 6 in the top row? And we know it's not in those two cells because that would stop 6 being here and also stop 6 being in the cage. So 6 in the top row must be here outside the cage that now needs a 6 that is going to have to get its 6 right here. And that is going to keep our flow around this puzzle going, I think. The flow is beautiful in this puzzle. It really is classy. That's not a 1 anymore. This is a 1. 2's in one of those cells. I don't know about that. That is 5 or 8. This is 5, 8 or 9. This cage is what we need to focus on next. We've got a 6 and a 1. The 3 in the cage now can't be in any of those cells and is here. Then the 7 in the cage, there isn't a 7 in the cage. I remembered just in time. The 2 in the cage is in one of these two, making that digit 8 or 9. Ah, no, no, I was going to say there's a 2 in one of those. I don't know that. I've still got this green digit. That hasn't resolved itself. It's going to either be a 9 there. I'll tell you what it does do. That green digit has to be in one of those two cells, and the other digit from 2 or 9 is there. So now this one can't be from 2 or 9 and is 4 or 5. No, it's not 5. So this can't be from 2 or 9 for that reason. It sees 8, 6, 7, 1, 5 in the row and 3 in the corner. That is a 4. In fact, it was the only place for 4 in the row, which was a more straightforward way of finding that out. But, okay, so we're sticking in this cage now where we've got 6, 4, 1, 8. 2, 3, 5, 9 are the other digits we need. And this is 2, 5 or 9. I wanted better information than that. Never mind. Okay, back to this. Now let's have a look at this one. 5, 4, 1, 6. Oh, we need a 3 in this one, which is in one of those two cells. The 8's in one of those two. 2 and 9 are the other digits. Only one of them is in this box. Okay, that's no good. Now, okay, this column, that digit is 2 or 9. It can't be 8. So there's only one place for 8 in the column. There it is. Now we must be thinking about 8 in this cage. We are. We're putting it in there. That 8 gives us a 9 down here, thanks to the pencil marking. The green digit becomes a 2. That's a 9. This is 5 and 2. Let's get rid of the green. Now, this column needs a 2 and a 5. And this cage needs 3, 8. It's got 3, 8, 1, 6. These are from 2, 5, 9. The 2 can only be here in the cage now. That finishes the box. That finishes the row. That finishes box 1. This pair is a 4, 9 pair. We do know the order from the given 9. I want to say this is a 9. I can. That is a 9 in the row. That's a 3. That's 8. All the corner boxes are done. That's a 5. Still I haven't unwound that V, which was there from the start. Now it's definitely time to think about this. What's going on in this one? We've got to put 7, 8 and 9 in it. 9 was going to be in one of those two cells and now therefore must be here. 8 can't be in this row, so it's in one of those two. 7 is red. I don't know. I was going to say one of these two, but I still don't know that. Okay, then low digits. Low digits in 7 pairs are either both in or both out. Oh, hang on. Let's do Sudoku first. We can do this 9, 5 pair. Now, in this row then, 5, 4, 9, 8, 3. So at least one digit from 1 and 6 must go in the cage because they can't both go there. Therefore, both digits from 1 and 6 are in the cage. And this now sees, oh, this has always seen every cell in the cage. But 1 and 6 are now in the cage, so this can't be 1 or 6. It sees 5, 4, 9, 8, 3 and 7. That is a 2. And that means 2 and 5 are outside the cage. They're the digits not in it. And 5 therefore must be in one of these cells, which I could have done by Sudoku. In fact, it is there. Right, now we know the contents of the cage. This digit must be whatever that is, I think. Okay, the other way of looking at that is if this was a 1, where could 1 go in this box? It couldn't go in the same cage or there. So that's a 7. I could even colour that red. This is a 7 because now the cage has had it. That's therefore not red. And this is the last red in the puzzle and is 7. Got an 8 and a 1 at the bottom. 5 and 3 at the top. I mean, I could colour all of these yellow to complete my silly colouring. I'm not sure I should have coloured, but hey, I did it. I can live with myself. That's a 6. This is 4 and 3. This is, it doesn't need a 4 anymore, 6 and 3. 2 and 3 are now done. Actually, that 3's been done in the cage forever. That's an 8. This is a 2. That's a 7. And we can finish off with a 1. And that is a lovely puzzle by Riff Clown. Just what one would expect. And thank you, Riff Clown. Superb. I will also say the birthday I forgot. Anna-Marie Hahn, Quiriqui, sent us a puzzle which didn't feature, but she was commemorating her friend Esmeralda's birthday, and very many happy returns to Esmeralda. We met Esmeralda, Simon and I. She came over for a lunch about 3 years ago, which was fantastic. She runs her own speaking coaching business, I think, and yeah, I wish I'd learned something from her, to be honest. Anyway, she's magnificent, and it's a joy to wish her a happy birthday and to wish Anna-Marie all the best as well. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.